Celebrating junior bowling, elevating junior bowlers. This is Prodigy Bowlers Tour. They came from all across the state of Georgia, from across town at Brunswick's own Lilburn, AMF Woodstock, Stars and Strikes Woodstock, Stars and Strikes Cumming, and from as far away as Augusta, Georgia, a 3-hour drive across the state. 21 kids began the day hoping to make the show. We put them in 2 groups, the bigs and the littles, and sent them to bowl 2 games of qualifying. Out of the 17 bigs, 5 would emerge to bowl in our stepladder finals. And of the 4 littles, the top 2 would compete for the championship this week. So, let's meet our field today. First, bowling for the championship in the Littles division is our number 2 seed, Matt. A winner of the junior varsity competition on our first anniversary show back in November, Matt is hoping to become the first 2-time winner this season among the Littles. He'll face our number 1 seeded player, Brandon. Yes, the littlest bee is making his first appearance on Prodigy today. He and his 2 brothers came over from Brunswick's own Lilburn, as their league is off for 4 weeks to make room for the city tournament. It's an all 2-handers final in the Littles today, righty against lefty, for the right to sign the coveted trophy pin. Then, in the bigs, we have 4 visitors and 1 kid from Roswell hoping to defend the home turf. Qualifying in the 5th position is Bryant. Another bowler from Brunswick's own Lilburn, Bryant has been on Prodigy before and is looking for his first win today. He'll face our 4th-ranked bowler, Garrett from AMF Woodstock. Garrett has also appeared on Prodigy a couple of times. He too is seeking his first championship today. The winner of that match will face our number 3 seeded player, Jacob. You've seen Jacob on Prodigy before. This 2-hander is one of 3 Lilburn kids in our varsity stepladder today. He'll try to crack the code to become a first-time winner. The winner of that match will move on to face the number 2 seeded player, Tyler. Tyler is an older brother of Brandon, our tournament leader amongst the littles today. We've had 2 brothers win on Prodigy Bowlers Tour before, as Matt and Nick have both claimed Prodigy championships. But never have 2 brothers had a chance to win on Prodigy in the same day. Today could be that day. The winner of that semifinal match will advance to the championship against our tournament leader and the only kid from Brunswick's own Roswell who made the show today, Charlie. Charlie won the Prodigy Bowlers Tour Christmas gift exchange, and today he has a chance to capture his 2nd win of the 2017-18 season. And that's our field today on Prodigy Bowlers Tour. Live on tape from Brunswick's own Roswell in Roswell, Georgia. It's Prodigy Bowlers Tour, a series of unofficial, informal, and impromptu after-league challenge matches staged by some of the most active and engaged youth bowlers across the Atlanta metro area, across the state of Georgia, and from anywhere else if they want to come bowl with us. Here's how we winnowed the field. We started with 17 bigs and 4 littles. They bowled 2 games of qualifying. Here's where they stood after the first game. You see it was Bryant with the early lead following a big 244 game start. Tyler was 2nd with a 220. Jake from Augusta was 3rd with a 204. Brett started strong with a 190 for 4th place. And Anthony, a winner a few weeks ago on Prodigy, was in 5th. In the littles, it was Brandon leading the way from the outset, with Matt close behind. Then, after that second game, a big shakeup at the top as Charlie fired a big 266 to move to the top of the leaderboard. Tyler stayed steady in 2nd. Jacob moved from 9th to 3rd thanks to a 237 second game. Garrett moved up to 4th on the strength of a 228, and despite a 162 game, Bryant held on to 5th place to make the show. And over in the littles, Faith needed to strike in the 9th, 10th, and 11th to nip Matt at the end, but didn't quite get it done. So Matt held on to 2nd, while Brandon will try to go wire to wire for the win in the littles. So, without further ado, let's get the undercard match underway, as the littles will decide their championship first. It's our number 1 seed, Brandon, against our number 2 seed, Matt, for the championship amongst the littles. And as is customary, the two meet at the ball return for their ceremonial handshake. Brandon had the choice of starting lanes, and he has opted to let Matt lead off. And Matt starts the match with a light shaker. That's the way you do it. They're bowling on the Taj Mahal oil pattern today, in case the name of the show didn't give it away. 38 feet, slightly lower than average volume. The rule of 31 suggests you want the ball on about the 7th board at the 38-foot mark. Oh, and Brandon just rips the pocket wide open, but leaves a stone 10. Well, as we say here, welcome to Roswell. Can't throw it any better than he just did. And covers the 10-pin, almost ran by it, but it's a spare. He's got to be happy with the way he threw it that frame. Bad break that it didn't go. Now this is a little unusual. He threw a hooking ball at his spare. He's throwing plastic at his strikes. And a ringing 7. 2 good shots to start, but not much in the way of a reward thus far. Brandon, part of the largest youth bowling program in the Atlanta area over at Brunswick Zone Lilburn. They crank them out like crazy. That one is wide of the mark, and he's got an open frame. So an early opening for Matt, who's got to strike up, and he can extend his lead here. But crosses over and leaves the 6-10. Scoring was kind of so-so in the qualifying. We did have some high scores, but we had some low scores too. Matt covers his spare. Charlie had the high score in the bigs division at 266 his second game. We also had someone shoot 95. There's another one in the pocket on the left lane for Matt. He must like that lane. Watch him. He waves it up, playing traffic cop with it. Asking it to get up. It did. Brandon comes in a little light on the right lane, leaves the 3. An easy spare. And he takes care of it. No problem. Well, he's left a solid 10, a solid 7. Came in light. left the 3, so he's certainly been around the pocket. Well, that one comes up high. And now he's got another 7-pin. He left a 7-pin in the second frame on this left lane and missed it on the left, so he's probably going to be thinking about that. What he should be thinking about is hitting his mark, forget about that bad shot. But no, he lets it go into the moat again, and so that's 2 open frames and a 24-pin lead for Matt after Matt has only bowled 3 frames. Comes up high, leaves the 3-6. Matt'll take his plastic ball to shoot at the spare. He hooks that plastic ball a little bit, as you see. That one is not far enough to the right. He pulled that one badly, and he's left the 1, 3, 6, 10. We'll watch it. He's trying to get that thing out by about the 3rd arrow. That goes over the 4th arrow, and a little foot stomping action there. It's not going to help. And here's the 1, 3, 6, 10. Here's how you make it. You want to put the ball on the 1 and the 3. The 3 will take out the 6. The 6 will take out the 10, just like in a strike. Well, now you don't see that every day. He pulls the 3 right out of the 1, 3, 6, 10, and that's 7 out. So a big mistake and a loss of count, and now this match is back down to within a mark. And Brandon takes advantage. He rips the rack. I don't know what weight he's throwing. It couldn't be that much. Hits light, blows the 5 over into the 10. Thank you very much. With a plastic ball, no less. Kid's got some rev rate. Oh my goodness gracious. The 4, 7, 8. That's the 8-pin back there that slid off its spot. And now we've got the proverbial out of range on lane 35. We'll have to call the counter and get them to fix this. Here's how you make the 4, 7, 8, whether they're on spot or off spot. Put the ball on the 4 and the 7. The 4 will take out the 8. And we see feet. So the man in the machine clears the dead wood. And the rake has been lifted. And oh, wait a minute. Well, why did they do that? They lifted the rake, and then the rake came right back down and swept the spare off. Well, that kind of defeats the purpose now, doesn't it? So now we'll have to have the 4, 7, 8 reset. We'll try our luck with them. You know, we've talked in the past about how Prodigy is unofficial, informal, and impromptu after league challenge matches. We are bowling open play. This is not sanctioned or official competition in any way. So quite often we will just make up the rules as we go along if the pin setter sweeps a spare off the deck. But in a fit of, I don't know, insanity or wanting to accommodate all the guests we have today, we've decided to go ahead and ask them to reset the spares that get mistakenly swept away, and here we have the 4-7-8. The only difference is he'll be shooting the 8-pin on spot instead of off spot. Now, if the pin setter hadn't swept it away, it would have been correct for him to have shot this with the 8-pin off spot. And he covers the spare. But now when the pin setter sweeps them away like that, you really have no other choice but to just reset the spare. Now, if that off-spot pin had been something else, you would have had it set on its original spot. Oh my goodness, look at this break. Matt trips the 4-9. Watch this. This one he gets out to the third arrow like he's been trying to, but it comes in a little high, trips the 4 right into the 9. Watch his reaction to this. He can't believe it. He knows he got away with one that time. Got to push. Didn't get it out far enough to the right, and now he's got the right-hander's version of what Brandon was shooting. Here's the 6-9-10. Pretty much the same thing, just on the other side. And Matt takes care of the spare. So we've got a tight match. Just 7 pins separating them. And Brandon's first ball in the 7th comes up just a little high. Lucky he broke up any split that might have been thinking about standing, but now he's got the relatively easy 6-10. And he has no problem with it. Well, Brandon shot 167 his first game in the qualifier. That was good for first place in the littles. And then he came back with a 151. So he was pretty steady. There's a strike on the left lane, and Brandon right in the pocket again. This little kid's going to be dangerous when he gets a little bigger. Love the action he gets on the ball. That's got to push. And it doesn't, and now he's got the 1-3-6. Well, he had the 1-3-6-10 a little while ago and pulled the 3-pin out of it. Let's put the ball on the 1 and the 3, and the 3 should take out the 6. You've got to be kidding. I've only seen that once in my life. Watch this. He gets it so wide that it just comes in from such an extreme angle, it chops the 3 right off the 6. And now Matt has surrendered the lead to Brandon. And comes up a little high in the 9th frame. Gets 8. Leaves an easy spare. Oh, look out. Okay, good thing he threw his plastic ball gave that one a little extra speed, so it held line. But now Brandon with a 5-pin lead thanks to that open by Matt, and he's working on a strike. And he gets a crossover strike for a double, and that extends his lead to 15. Oh, he's begging for it to cross over. He knows he got away with one. Hey, they all count. Well, the best Matt can do is 179. So Brandon has the opportunity here to shut him out. He needs this spare. And he gets it. And now he needs 7 pins. 7 pins on the fill ball will give him 180. How about all 10 for 183? And that is the winning ball. Brandon is our Littles champion today. How about that? Matt goes high. This is all academic at this point. Brandon making his first appearance on Prodigy Bowlers Tour. He and his brothers came over to bowl today. He's got 2 older brothers with him. One of them is our 2 seed in the Bigs division. So who knows? Maybe we'll have 2 brothers win today. Matt and his brother Nick have both won on Prodigy, but they did it on different dates. So Brandon and his older brother Tyler could do it on the same day. When we come back, we'll visit with Brandon and get him to sign the pin. Now, bring the spirit of Prodigy Bowlers Tour to your bowling center with Prodigy Bowlers Tour t-shirts and sportswear, including collared shirts with the Prodigy logo printed on the back to show that you support junior bowling. Check out the entire assortment of Prodigy t-shirts in the Brunswick store. Visit ProdigyBowlersTour.com to see the selection. See the ash gray Celebrating Junior Bowling, Elevating Junior Bowlers t-shirt, or the Who Will Win the Coveted Trophy Pin t-shirt. Or maybe you'd want the one that says, I've come to get my bowl on, right on the front of the shirt, or simply, Bowl Me. There's a t-shirt that says, Bowling. You probably don't get it because it's mainly for smart people. And if you're a proud parent with a junior bowler, we've got a t-shirt just for you. And how about this t-shirt? You're bowling an 8th grader. Prepare to meet defeat. Available in grades 1 through 9, most in both adult and kid sizes. And finally, the shirt that reads, Bowl better, have more fun, take lessons. Then maybe you can keep up with me. The Brunswick store is powered by the people at Cafe Press, and all of these shirts are available right now. Just go to ProdigyBowlersTour.com and click on the link to be taken right to the store. PayPal and credit cards accepted. That's ProdigyBowlersTour.com. Get your bowl on and bring the spirit of Prodigy Bowlers Tour to your house. Order now. Go to ProdigyBowlersTour.com. That's ProdigyBowlersTour.com. Well, Matt put up a strong challenge, but in the end, a key double in the 8th and 9th gave Brandon just enough breathing room. And then he got up in the 10th frame and made the clutch shots to nail down the win. So, in his first appearance on Prodigy Bowlers Tour, Brandon J. finds himself in the winner's circle. So, let's meet the young man.
Ladies and gentlemen, Meet Brandon, our new little bee. He's the littlest bee. So Brandon, tell us a little about you. How old are you? 11. And you just made your first appearance on Prodigy Bowlers Tour. And you won the Littles division. Way to go. Have you watched the show before? Yeah? So where do you bowl?
Lilburn.
Brunswick's own Lilburn. You're one of those kids. Do you know what happens next? You get to sign the coveted trophy pin. Congratulations, now you're eligible for our season-ending Tournament of Champions. Awesome.
Brandon seems to be a young man of very few words, but clearly he knows how to bowl, and he was the best little in the field today. So it's on to the Bigs division, where once again our stepladder lays out like this. In our first match, number 5 seed Bryant will meet number 4 seed Garrett. The winner will go on to face Jacob. Then the winner of that match will meet Tyler, Brandon's older brother. And the winner of the semifinal will face Charlie for today's championship. You keep advancing up the stepladder as long as you keep winning. So let's get match 1 underway. This one pits number 5 Bryant against number 4 Garrett. Now, Garrett put on a big charge in Game 2 of the qualifier to get into the top 5, while Bryant sort of lost his momentum coming off a 244 opening game, but had built up enough pins in that first game to hold on to a spot in the stepladder. He's looking to regain his momentum this match. Now, Garrett, being the higher seed, gets the choice of starting lanes, and he wants to finish last, so he will start first. Well, and that is one heck of a way to start the match. That is deep in the pocket, right there. Can't throw it any better than that. All right, and now Bryant. We've seen Bryant a few times on Prodigy. Ooh, that one comes up light, and he's got a little challenge right out of the gate. The 3-7. Here's how you make it. Put the ball over on the right side of the 3. Slide it over into the 7. Can be done. Oh, and he makes a bold attempt at it, but runs by the 3-pin, and that's 8 out. And an open to start. Well, a 244 and a 162 were his 2 qualifying games, so little Jekyll and Hyde action. Oh, no! Well, he comes in light in the first frame, comes in just a little high, and pays the penalty with a 6-8. Here's how you make it. You got to slice that 6 pretty thin. And boy, he is unafraid to go for these splits. But missed both of them. Missed everything on both attempts. So that's 16 through 2 frames and a disastrous start for Bryant. Oh, my goodness gracious. Garrett rolls the 2-pin. Watch this. And I'm going to tell you a little secret. I watched that frame by frame and backed it up a few times. That was the 8-pin that rolled the 2. And he can't believe he got away with that one. But he'll take it. And there's another solid one. Well, Garrett is off and running. A turkey right out of the gate. My goodness. And meanwhile, this has been Bryant's worst nightmare thus far. Open to start. And he comes up light again. This time leaves the 3-5-9. And this is choppable. Got to be careful with this one. Oh my goodness. Well, just when you think things can't get any worse, they get worse. But the good news is it's still early. There's a lot of frames left. There's a good shot by Bryant. And he will celebrate it. I tell you, if there's one thing I've observed with these kids in the last few years, it's that they can get really down in the dumps when things don't go their way. But let me tell you something. It's still early in the match, and I know 55 pins seems like a lot, but he's still got more than half the game left. Of course, if Garrett keeps doing that, he's not going to give him any room to come back, but there's a light shaker, and Garrett's waving it up. Garrett expends an awful lot of emotion, though. Fist pumping those strikes. Boy, I like to keep an even keel mood. There's a trip 4. He's got all the shots going his way. And a 5-bagger to start. Wow. Bryant with a strike up. Oh, he just tickled him. But got just enough of the head pin that it would do all the damage. Watch this. The head pin will go to the right wall and it'll come back and shake up the right side of the rack. It knocked out the 5, 6, 9, and 10. And he shreds the rack that time. That's his best shot so far this game. And he's cut the lead back down to 55. Still sounds like a mountain to climb, but you never know. Gotta play the frames. Well, now this is what I was talking about. You use up all that energy, fist pumping and chest bumping and everything on your good shots early. And now, does it leave anything left in the tank later in the match? We'll find out. And that wasn't close. So an open frame for Garrett. And that brings that big lead down to just 39. First time Bryant was on the show, he built a 52-pin lead on Charlie through 5 frames. And Charlie came back and won the match. I'm telling you, these things can turn. Oh, he begged it to get up, but not quite. And now Garrett has the 2, 4, 10. It's makeable, but coming off that open frame where he missed the washout, this could tighten things up. And he misses that badly. And now look at this. The match is down to 27. Bryant with a double up. He can cut it to 17 with a strike here and then down to 7 with another one. Oh, no! Well, just when he thought he had a chance to get back in it. Oh, man, if that had struck, who knows what might have happened. And then he whiffs the 7. Oh, my goodness. Well, that may have been his last best chance. He had it in his hands, a strike in the 7th and another in the 8th, and this match would have been down within a mark. It just goes to prove, never say never. Never give up on these matches, especially when you're down early. There's a lot of bowling left. But now Bryant with the 3-5 covers it. And now the best he can do is 192. Garrett is going at a 212 pace. So Bryant's going to need some help. And there's a solid strike by Garrett. This kid's got a solid game. I think he would be better if he would just get his emotions under control a little bit. A little high. Broke up the split. An easy spare, the 4-pin. This will just about seal it. Oh, unless he misses it. Well, well, well. So now Bryant, with a strike in the 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th, would shoot 192. That would force Garrett to mark. Well, there's the one in the 9th. This match is not over yet. Bryant's going to have to dig deep now. He can't win the match if he doesn't strike here. Oh, he gets a crossover. Hey, you take them however you can get them in this situation. But now here's the big one right here. A strike here in the 11th and an 8 count on the final ball, and he would force Garrett to mark. But he's got to have this one. Oh, it doesn't come back. So now the situation is this. He's kind of down to his very last gasp. A spare here, he would finish 180. Garrett would have to keep it on the lane and stay behind the foul line in the 10th frame. Well, now it doesn't matter. That's it. This match is decided. Bryant misses the spare. I'm sure Garrett's going to keep it on the lane and stay behind the foul line. It would have been over anyway, but there's a strike for Garrett. Well, this match was interesting. I will say that. I mean, it's not going to be all that close at the end, I don't imagine, but ended up being a lot more interesting than it seemed like it was going to after the first 3 frames, that's for sure.
Dad used to travel all the time when it happened.
And if Bryant could have carried that 7-pin in the 7th frame, who knows what we'd be looking at now. But it was not to be for Bryant on this match. Garrett got off to a hot start with the first 5 strikes. And then I think he may have just spent a little too much energy congratulating himself. And fist bumping and whatnot. But in the end, he takes the match, and it's Garrett who's moving on to face our 3 seed, Jacob, when we return next. Well, a few hiccups in the middle of the match by Garrett threatened to make it a closer match than it turned out to be. But in the end, Bryant just dug a hole a little too deep in the early frames, and Garrett threw enough strikes to keep it from being close. So, Garrett is moving on to match 2, where he'll face a very formidable 2-hander, Jacob. Now, while Garrett just turned 17 last week, and Jacob won't turn 13 for another month or so, don't let their age difference fool you. Jacob can hold his own against the best of them, and both of these players would love to climb the stepladder and claim their first win on Prodigy Bowlers Tour today. One of them will get that chance at the end of this match. And Jacob, not afraid of pressure. He's bowled on national television before, so this is nothing to him. Comes up a little light. That could have gone, but the 7 refuses to fall. So he has an easy spare to begin. Go cross lane at it. Uses his strike ball. And takes care of the 7. Real contrast in styles here. We've got a 2-hander versus a 1-hander, and one who's real fiery in Garrett, and Jacob just kind of keeps to himself. Oh, man, that messenger just didn't quite deliver the message. We may have to take another look at this. How in the world did that stay up? Watch, the head pin will go to the left wall, come back across, and, well, that pin in the gutter is what stopped it. I'm sure that was the 6 pin sitting in the gutter there. And a spare. So, both players with good shots to start. Neither one coming away with a strike, but they both get their spares. So, we're all even. Garrett takes that little backward step like Pete Weber. He loves Pete Weber. Comes up a little thin, leaves the 2. When you're bowling on sport shots, just keep it around the pocket. Keep the ball in play, leave easy spares for yourself. That's how you manage the game.
Well, that's just like a steamroller, just flattening the pins. They had no chance against that. An excellent shot in the second by Jacob. And there's another one. Wow. Have to take another look at this one. Playing around the fourth arrow. And that ball just goes through the pins like a hot knife through butter. All right, Garrett down 11 now. And the ball does not get back to the pocket. And he knocks out the 2 and the 4 and leaves what I call the naked washout. Just the 1 and the 10. This is how you make it. Move your feet 7 boards to the right, throw it over your strike target. Not to be. And an open for Garrett. You wonder sometimes if he uses up so much adrenaline celebrating in that first match, the good shots. You got to pace yourself in this game, especially if you got to run the stepladder. There you go. Take another look at this. Comes in light, shakes him up. He likes it. A little more subdued celebration that time. Meanwhile, the Jacob freight train is right on its tracks. Look at this thing. It's like the pins are just running to get out of the way. See if he can make it 4 in a row. No. Got it a little wide. This pattern, about a 3-to-1 ratio. You're not going to get much help if you miss wide. Get the ball over left of the 2 pin, slide it over into the 10. It will go. Ooh, gave it a ride. But that's an open frame, and that closes things down a bit. Now the lead just 19. Garrett can cut it to 9 if he can strike here in the 5th. And there's one right in the pocket. And now one more and he can take the lead. I always like close matches. Garrett taking a little extra time on this one. He knows the importance of it. This for the lead. Oh, yeah, he was begging for it to come back up the hill. Watch him motion with his right arm. Come on, baby, come on. And it just gets out the 7. Watch his reaction. Yeah. All right, pace yourself, young man. You may need some of that adrenaline later. Especially if Jacob puts a few more of those on you. Stuff City.
This kid can throw some strikes. We'll watch this one in split screen. Well, he is just on fire now. That's 5 strikes in the last 6 frames. He got that one a little wide in the 5th. But other than that, he's been right on target. He could have carried a strike in the 1st frame. But now Garrett, once again, a chance to take the lead. Got to get up. No, no. The same mistake that Jacob made in the 5th. The 2-4-10. It can be made. Ooh, pretty good effort there. But close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, as they say. And now Garrett, when he got up in the 7th, he had a chance to take the lead, but now he finds himself down 24 pins with just 3 frames left. There's one for you. Gets in that half pocket and just rips them apart. Almost a can opener that time. All right, Jacob. He's got the hammer in his hand now. Yep. And now the lead is 34, and Jacob is going to try to put this one away. He didn't get that one out to the right far enough. The 3-10 baby split. One of the easier splits. Just put the ball on the right side of the 3. It should deflect over into the 10. But he misses wide. So he gives Garrett some life here now. Let's project out. If Garrett and Jacob strike out, they will tie with 221. So this is anybody's game right now. Oh, Garrett was begging for that one to get up. He could have drawn really close with a strike there. But the 7 just wouldn't go. So now the best he can do is 201. So Garrett needs 3 strikes in the 10th to force Jacob to mark. All because that 7-pin wouldn't go in the 9th. Bowling can be a cruel game sometimes. He threw that ball well. Gotta have it. Oh. But with that, he hands the match to Jacob. He will give it all the body English he's got here. That 4-pin's got to go, but he knew it was a little tight. And it's just not to be.
So with a strike on his fill, he'll shoot 190 and come up a little short this time. But he bowled well to get here. And he gives it a whoop-de-doo because he knows that isn't really going to help him, but it is a good shot. Garrett shoots 179, 228 in qualifying, and now a 190. And Jacob with a stone 9. Doesn't matter. If you're going to have that happen, you might as well have it happen when the match is already salted away. And he covers the spare. He'll shoot 211 with a strike on the fill. And there it is, 211. Right on cue. So Jacob with a solid game, and he is moving on to our semifinal match. He'll meet Tyler next when we return. You know, at the start of each episode of Prodigy Bowlers Tour, we remind you that the show is best viewed full screen. And here are some Prodigy heads to show you how it's done. They're all part of one of the fastest growing audiences on YouTube. The Prodigy kingdom of viewers are seemingly everywhere, certainly all across America and even around the world. It seems our Prodigy bowlers can't travel out of state to a tournament without encountering someone who will walk up to them and say, "Hey, you're Charlie," or "You're Logan," or "You're Brandon," or whoever. "I've seen you on that Prodigy thing on YouTube." Well, here on That Prodigy Thing, we like to show off our fans. So, if you want to get your mug on an upcoming episode, take a selfie with Prodigy playing in the background, full screen of course, on your big screen TV, your computer, or a mobile device, and email it to us. Address it to me at randy@prodigybowlerstour.com. Be sure to include your name, your age, the city where you live, and which episode of Prodigy you're watching. Then, keep an eye out for your beautiful face to appear in an upcoming episode of the show. And thanks for supporting Prodigy Bowlers Tour by watching, by giving our videos a thumbs up, by subscribing to our channel, and by sharing our videos with your friends on social media. A close match between Jacob and Garrett. A pair of turkeys by Jacob were the difference, and just when Garrett thought he had climbed back in it, up popped the devil in the form of a big split, and Jacob was there to put on more pressure that just proved too much at the end. So it's Jacob who'll be moving on to match 3, and it's an all Brunswick Zone Lilburn semifinal, as both of these kids bowl league over there in the largest youth bowling program in the Atlanta area. So they should be well familiar with each other's games. A couple of strong two-handers here in 12-year-old Jacob and 16-year-old Tyler. This should be a really good match. Now, they've all been good matches in their own way. Tyler wanted to finish last, so that means he will start the match. So he's up on the left. And that one comes up just a little light. Leaves the 2-4-5. Here's how you make it. Put the ball on the 2 and the 5. 2 will take out the 4. Or you can do it on the other side. It's not the way we recommend it, but it works. right, Jacob up on the right. And he gets a crossover, trips out the 6 and 10. Can always use a little bit of luck. You can see him gesturing. He knows that was a lucky one. Now, see if he can capitalize on it. No, that one's got to get back. It does not. And he's got the 1-2-8. Just put the ball on the 1 and the 2. Let the ball send the 2 back into the 8. And that is perfectly done right there. But I'm sure he feels like he missed an opportunity after having gotten that good break in the first frame. He would have liked to have put a double on the board and extended his lead a little bit. Oh, there's what I call a love tap on the 10. How about that one right there? Well, that's why you put revolutions on the ball, to get action like that. Watch the 6 pin. It'll lay down in the channel and just come up and nudge out the bottom of the 10 pin. Let's see if he can take advantage of that strike. No. No, indeed. And he's left himself a very difficult spare, the 3-9-10. You want to get the ball over to the right of the 3 pin, have the ball deflect into the 10, but still have enough hook on it that it will drive through and take out the 9 as well. This can be missed a number of ways. He went with his plastic ball. I don't recommend that on that spare because you've got to drive through and get that back pin. I always throw my strike ball whenever I've got double wood like that. Jacob, a little light in the pocket. Easy spare though, the 2 pin. After Tyler gave him a break with that open. See if he can take advantage. Takes care of the 2 pin, no problem. Well, all these kids from Lilburn came over today because their league is off this week and the next 3 weeks as they're hosting the city tournament over there. Almost a strike. Good shot. Could have been one of those light mixers. Everything goes over to the left side of the rack. But the 7 gets nudged, but won't go down. Easy spare. 10 pin match right now. Whenever you're bowling on sport patterns, usually anybody who can get just a little string of strikes somewhere in the match, that's usually enough. Hooks high. Lucky he didn't leave a wide open split.
but just the 3-6. Doesn't lose any count because he wasn't working on a spare or a double. And he covers the spare. So these two remain separated by 10 pins. Tyler carefully placing his feet, looks up, picks out his target, visualizes the shot, and then goes. And that was a pretty good ball right there. Just a fraction high. Probably thinking to himself, I kind of liked that one when I let it go. He should have. Takes care of the 4. Like two heavyweights just kind of jabbing at each other. Oh, and he gets the trip 4 that Tyler didn't get. I want to show you something about Jacob's release. Watch this. You want to know how to throw a hook ball? Watch where his hand is at release. He's right behind the ball. He doesn't twirl it. He doesn't come around the side of it. He comes right up the back of the ball. The modern bowling ball, if it's drilled properly for your hand, it is made to hook. You don't have to do much to it. Just roll it off your fingers. That one he just pulled inside of his target. You still got to hit what you're looking at, especially on sport patterns. Good spare, though. Maintains his 11-pin lead. Clean through 6 frames. Tyler needs to figure out how to get a double somewhere here. That one's a little wide. Seems like when he misses a board left, it goes high or crosses over. When he sends it a board right, it just hangs out there. Takes care of the 2. Well, really, the only thing separating these two is that one open that Tyler had in the 3rd frame. Oh, look at this break. That ball right through the nose, and he breaks up everything. That might be the break he was looking for. And Jacob lets that one get away from him a little bit. It goes high. Got the 4-7, an easy spare. Loses a couple of pins in count, though. And what that means is if Tyler gets up and throws a strike in the 8th, we've got an even match. A spare for Jacob. And now he needs to throw a strike in the 8th so he doesn't lose any count here. Uh-oh. Well, he gets the similar break to the one that Tyler got. Well, if it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. He can't believe that one struck. All right, well, this is an important shot here. Tyler can draw even with a strike on this ball. Well, it wasn't pretty, but it is beautiful on the score sheet, in his estimation anyway. I don't know how Jacob feels about it. Well, yeah, I think I probably do know how Jacob feels about it. But here we are down to the 9th and 10th frames, and these two are deadlocked, all even. You get two good players bowling match play. That's usually what you'll find. A tight match in the closing frames. Oh, and he ripped that one. That's his best shot of the match. So with that, Tyler takes a 10-pin lead. Boy, and he couldn't have picked a better time for that one. Oh, Jacob pulled that one well left of his target, and you see him fist the ball return. He didn't hit it hard enough to damage it, but just letting out a little frustration. And again, he throws his plastic ball at the 3-9, and I always recommend throwing a ball that hooks at double wood. And now he's got himself in a real pickle. A possible 194. All right. A 194 would at least make Tyler mark. But he's got to have this one right here. Oh, no! Are you kidding me? Another out of range on this left lane. We had one earlier in the Littles match, early on, but that's the 4-pin. That pin was going straight back. He had stuffed this right in the pocket. Watch this. That 4-pin moved 4, 5, maybe 6 inches. And it jams the machine. Watch his reaction to this. He loves it when it leaves his hand. Wow, what a bad break. Well, and now he gets to wait for the lane guy to raise the table. Hopefully they won't sweep away the spare again like they did earlier. Well, that's frustrating. I know he's not happy. He threw a great shot when he needed it right there.
But it's going to be a 184 with a conversion. And it's probably not going to be enough, as Tyler just needs some count here. Doesn't even need a mark. And he will be moving on to the championship match. That's 9, and that ought to do it. That gives him at least 184 in the 9th, 193 if he misses this. So he is our winner. Jacob was that close. Well, it wasn't a thing of beauty. Some of those strikes that Tyler threw were not exactly textbook. He got a couple of Brooklyns. He had one that went right through the nose. But in the end, he got it done. And now Tyler has a chance to join his little brother Brandon, who won our Littles championship earlier today, in becoming the first brothers to both win on Prodigy in the same day. Tyler will be going against Charlie, dressed as the Unabomber today. Next.
Strike or no strike.
Yes, it's that wacky game show, Strike or No Strike, where you play against the pros. Here's how it works. In each of 10 frames, you'll be presented with 2 bowlers, one on the left lane, one on the right. You guess if each player will make a strike or no strike. Guess them both correctly and mark yourself down for a strike in the frame and chalk up 30 points. Guess one right and one wrong, and you make a spare in the frame. Add 20 points to your score. Guess wrong on both players, and you've made an open frame. 10 points. Ready?
First frame.
Solid 10. Wow.
Oh, a 10 and it goes. And he needed that double. Swayed up.
Second frame.
Double exposure camera. Hey! Showed you that Nelson Burton Jr. has come up with the most unusual strike. An 8-pin.
Third frame.
Larry Law. 5 strikes in this game.
And now Tita Semez with 4 in a row.
Larry Law. 5 strikes in this game. Looking for number 6 and oh!
And now Tita Semez with 4 in a row. 5 in a row.
has a spare up.
Shaky 7 goes down.
He has a spare up.
Second strike.
5th frame.
He can really close the door on her right here with another good strike. He's wide on that one, though. He can really close the door on her right here with another good strike. He's wide on that one, though.
No.
6th frame.
And now, Joe Joseph. Back-to-back open frames, shooting in the 6th, trailing by 35. And now, Joe Joseph. Back-to-back open frames, shooting in the 6th, trailing by 35.
Gets some help, and the 5 goes out.
Seventh frame.
He grabs hold of that ball like Dick Butkus.
Oh, on that left lane, an 8-pin for Harahan.
His key right here in this match is to win the match. Money is secondary to this man.
He grabs hold of that ball like Dick Butkus. And there she is.
Say goodnight, kids.
8th frame.
If Hudson gets this strike, he'll force Neff to strike.
And a 10-pin as he was at the line, hoping, praying.
The longest strike I've seen in a while.
9th frame.
Steve now left of center. Right heel extended over the back of the approach. Wants every inch he can get. Here it comes. Steve now left of center. Right heel extended over the back of the approach. Wants every inch he can get. Here it comes. It's there. Number 3.
Nothing bad about that one. That's 4 for Carter to start this game, and once again you start thinking in terms of $10,000.
10th frame.
Coleman trying to get his team, which includes Mark Roth, back in. Coleman trying to get his team, which includes Mark Roth, back in, and that, whoops, wobbles and leaves 1 pin.
Don't see that very often with Marshall. He throws, again, one of the most powerful balls on the tour.
puncher, long-distance driver, whatever. That's what Anthony is.
See you later, 10 in the pit on a just amazing shot.
Game over.
Thanks for playing our game. We have some lovely parting gifts. Join us again next time for Strike or No Strike.
Strike or No Strike is a Goodman-Todson production in association with the Bowling Oldies Television Network.
Another exciting match that came down to the 9th and 10th frames as Jacob had a chance in the 9th to tie the match, but an open put him behind the 8 ball in the closing frame. So it's Prodigy newcomer Tyler who is moving on to the championship match to face our tournament leader, Charlie. Now, as I mentioned earlier, we've had brothers win on Prodigy before, as Matt and Nick have both won. But they won on separate shows. We don't often have a bigs and littles division on the same show, but today we did, and Tyler's little brother Brandon won the littles division. So Tyler's trying to make history by joining Brandon as the first brothers to win on Prodigy the same day. But Charlie might have something to say about that before it's all over. He looked really strong firing that 266 in his second qualifying game today. But that's been over an hour ago. We'll see who's up to the challenge in the next 20 minutes. Pretty good shot to start. Right in the pocket, just a fraction high for Tyler. Solid 4. Bowling Center got kind of busy today. We've usually got the high end to ourselves, but they're packed today, so we've got some open play just to our left. Oh, no. Well, you saw the expression on his face. He can't believe he whiffed the 4-pin. But an open to start for Tyler, and you don't want to be giving too many of those to Charlie. And that's why. Charlie playing down and in today. Now, I've been around Charlie enough to know that when he can play down and in, brother, you better bring your A game. If you want to keep up with this cat. Oh, that was a good one. Just a little high. He's playing so far outside, he's almost over, just inside the first arrow. Giving it some body English, didn't help. Takes care of the spare. So he could have really pounced on that opening by Tyler, but instead, just a strike and a spare to begin. So Tyler just a double away from catching up. Very deliberate player. I love the way he takes his time. Oh, just a little high again. Boy, that could have been a disaster. He had the 4-7-10 for a while. It didn't seem like it was quite that high, but obviously it was. Broke sharply at the end. Cross lane for the 10-pin. Oh, no. Well, that's not the way you want to start. All right, you just got to settle yourself now and just make one good shot. Just let me see one good shot. That's what he's got to be telling himself. Just one good shot right here. Nope. Well, it crosses over. He gets away with it. He'll take it. But you can tell by his body language that he's a little lost right now. And Charlie sends that one just a little bit wide. Nearly got a shaker, but the 4 remains. Just a simple spare, go cross lane at it. There you go. Charlie throwing his Sure Lock today. He just got a new one. He already had one. He wanted another. He loves that ball. I don't know if he drilled this one any differently than the other one, but he said the other one had kind of lost its reaction. And that's what happens to reactive resin balls sometimes. But that one looks like it's reacting just fine. Shreds the rack there. And now Tyler needs to put a strike right on top of that Brooklyn he got in the 3rd frame. Couple of strikes here, he can close this match down real quick. Oh, just a fraction wide. Man, that was close. Either take just a little speed off of it or stand about a half a board to the right from where he was, and that one strikes. But he covers the 2. But now he's got to start all over in building a little string of strikes. To chip away at Charlie's lead. And Charlie, of course, has a strike up, so Tyler doesn't want to waste any time in getting right back on the strike train here. Oh, he's gone to a different ball. And he gets a light shaker. The wall shot goes for him. This is a weaker ball. You could tell it didn't really make a big move on the back end. See how it just kind of sat there. Just made a real easy, gentle move. Well, I don't know if that's going to be the right ball for this oil pattern. You saw that ball actually deflect around the 5. Boy, that one's the right ball for Charlie as it makes a sharp turn and slaps out the 10. Look where that ball is, out by about the 4th board. Put another strike on Tyler right here. Charlie can get out to a 41-pin lead. And he trips the 4 to do it. Here it is again. Just a little high. Watch the 2-pin. It'll go to the wall and get that 4 off the wall, and Charlie loved it. All right, Tyler can't wait anymore. He has got to start striking right now. Well, that weaker ball just doesn't want to read the lane. I think that ball he had been throwing might have come back and at least gotten a piece of the head pin. Whether it would have gotten all the way back, I don't know. But the 1-2-4, makeable spare. Put the ball over to the left of the 1 pin. Just like that. But now he's running out of frames. What do you do when you're lost on a pair of lanes? You don't feel like you've got the ball reaction you're looking for, and you got to start stringing strikes. I go hard and straight and throw the frozen rope at the pocket. He pulled it. He looked away and didn't even see it strike. Well, we've all had days like this. He bowled great to get here, but we're not seeing him throw his best shots this match. Charlie working on 3 in a row. Can he make it 4? Boy, that almost had a messenger for the 10-pin. But it took the first off-ramp into the pit. So he's got the 10-pin. Covers it. So, Charlie going at a 2:18 pace. Tyler, if he strikes out, would shoot 2:18. High. Could have left a split on that. Might have made things interesting. But the 10-pin. Charlie not even using a spare ball today. He's just flattening his wrist and going straight at the corner pins with his strike ball. I kind of like that approach, especially for these kids who will be bowling junior gold in Dallas this summer. With the limit on the number of balls you can carry, you might as well learn how to throw it straight with balls that hook. Save yourself a spot in the arsenal. All right, Tyler's got to get a string of strikes going. There's one. And that cuts the lead to 29. This match isn't over yet, but he's got to keep striking. One more here to cut it to 19. And set up the 10th frame. Oh, just a little high. Thought maybe that ball that doesn't finish quite as hard might have set in the pocket, but it read just enough to go through the nose. So he's got a spare here. Picks it up, and now the best Tyler can do is 196. So Charlie's just going to need one mark in the next 2 frames, and that'll wrap it up, assuming he gets reasonable count. That's a pretty good count right there. It's as good a strike as you'll ever see. Watch it again. Ten back. That's what we call that. Well, just a few pins will nail this one down. Nine ought to do it. And there's your winner. That gives him at least 196 in the ninth, 205 if he whips this. And as I mentioned, the best Tyler can do now is 196. So a spare in the 10th, and Charlie with a clean game. And unless he does something crazy here on the fill ball, nothing less than a 9 count. He should have been bowling in a 9-pin no tap. Well, he wouldn't have done any better. He won this. That is a pretty good little game right there. 217, a very well bowled 217. And we'll watch Tyler go through the formalities of finishing out the match. As he comes up a little light here. I know he's disappointed. I hope he had fun today. In his first time at Prodigy, we saw him and one of his brothers, Brandon, who won the Littles division. And there was another brother in the field today who didn't make the show, but who knows, maybe next time. And we were glad to have them. I love having all these kids come over from neighboring bowling centers. We even had Jake over from Augusta, Georgia. It's about a 3-hour drive across the state. There's an 8 count to finish. It's going to be a 182 for Tyler. Not the final game he had hoped to bowl, but a second place finish, nothing to sneeze at. But it's Charlie. We'll call him the Unibowler. He's dressed like the Unabomber. And we'll get his name on the coveted trophy pin next.
This is the Stars Sapphire, a gem of hypnotic beauty. Now, Brunswick captures that same deep sapphire glow in a beautiful new bowling ball, the Brunswick Crown Jewel. Every movement brings out new mystery and beauty. A unique material gives you a firmer grip, a new promise of scoring accuracy. And its lasting luster will look new for years in your choice of glowing ruby red, iridescent black pearl, or shimmering sapphire blue. To own the new Crown Jewel is a permanent satisfaction. A prized possession you'll treasure for life. Made only by Brunswick, the #1 name in bowling. Step into fun. Learn to bowl free.
The fast and easy Brunswick way. Sign up at your favorite lanes today.
Anytime you bowl a clean game, you've done something. And when you do it on a demanding sport shot, you've really done something. Charlie bowled a very tidy 217 in that championship match, never getting less than 9 on his first ball in any frame, and made it look easy. And Tyler didn't bowl badly. I just think he may not have quite had the right ball in his hand. And when you're not matching up with the conditions quite right, it's always an uphill climb. So it's Charlie who takes top honors this week in the Bigs division on Prodigy Bowlers Tour. And before we visit with him, another congratulations to Tyler's little brother Brandon for his championship performance today on Prodigy Bowlers Tour. But now, it's time to get Charlie's name on the coveted trophy pin.
Where can I sign? Oh, look, it's Charlie.
Yeah, I'm back.
Signing the coveted trophy pin yet again. After a big win.
What's the date today?
Today is 1/20/18.
There we go.
And this kid here, who is watching, come here, stand over there by Charlie. He's watching, he's going, that's that guy, that's that guy. That's Charlie. And that's Josh. So maybe one of these days you'll be on the show. In the meantime, it's Charlie's day today.
Yay.
Second win of the year.
Yep.
Still chasing Christian.
What does Christian have? 4? 2 balls. That's all me is now.
There you go.
2 balls.
All right, you'll get there.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.